Greetings, everyone. We are live with Memo versus Kagawa. This is game one, and starting off in the live of deathmatch. Wololo 2022. This is Venetian. So interesting to see a nice start of civilization. On the left side, we got Memo, and on the bottom right side, we got Kagawa. We can see Memo going forward. Oh, going back. Okay. So we can see the Venetian, very nice elephant civilization. We tend to see plenty of elephant civilization. I have not seen that many Centurions actually. He was in a few games. I think it was against Hamza and Infinity that there was plenty of Centurions as a starting point. But right now, most players seem to be preferring the elephant route with some elephant archers on their side, which I think it's pretty understandable considering how cheaper they are, so they can easily produce more units. Both players kind of keeping their guns to their base, and the rangers coming on the side close to the base, close to the town center. We can see plenty of rangers coming up from the side of Kagawa. Kagawa putting off some chariot archers, which I don't know if it's intentional or it was an accident click, but it seems definitely gonna be an interesting to see. Memo going on full on elephant archers, trying to get some army on his base, trying to get some paint on the top side as well. More, we can see kind of Kagawa went some chariot archers. I think it's on purpose because that's a bit too many in my opinion. So definitely trying to get like the pickup that you usually do with the horse archers. Not a bad idea. However, there are elephant archers already waiting for him in Memo's base. And so Memo gonna be able to easily wipe those out. The chariot archers moving to the back, trying to get the villagers to start getting the houses. So not bad of a pick. In the meantime, Kagawa already setting up his terrain, putting up some towers on the front, and trying to get as much terrain as possible. These ranges are going to be very well defended from all the enemy elephants. Some stables coming off on the top side from Memo, so definitely going to be a surprise raid. Going to be nice to see later on. Let's see how that will pay off. You can see also some towers being put on the side of Memo. Memo putting towers close to his little gaps, so it's going to be able to defend himself quite nicely on all the close corners. Not getting any units get in, and we can see kind of more towers coming. Kagawa looking like a favorable position right now. Very big numbers. Instead of Kagawa, plenty of elephant archers and plenty of towers already supporting his base. So definitely top call. Top start from Memo in my opinion. The side that he's got is pretty tight, and it's already surrounded with elephant archers and ballista towers. So the problem right now is that this is gonna be like a stalemate situation. The elephant archers being too tanky and not really doing that much damage is gonna take a lot of time for these units to get something down. So they're gonna need to try to siege workshops coming from Kagawa. So like just like we was saying, the elephant archers a bit too slow trying to get the buildings down. So stone throwers gonna be added from the mix in the side of Kagawa. Definitely trying to get some advantage on his side. Side chariots coming from Memo on the right side. A bit too little in my opinion, but they can get some quite damage if spread right. We can see he's starting to get the villagers are running around from Memo, Kagawa's base. So definitely nice picks on the economy. You kind of want that so that the elephant archers stop coming from in the front side. Right now, Memo kind of on a tough spot. The elephant archers are being pulled in. They are getting plenty of kills, and they're getting into the towers of Kagawa. So Kagawa doing a nice job dealing damage output to these little elephants. You're getting plenty of kills, in my opinion. More side chariots coming from the right side, but there are already elephant archers expecting them. So I don't think this is gonna be as effective as it was on the first time, and I think that's gonna be like that's gonna be it from the raid surprise raid. So for now, I think there's not much going on the right side. The stone throwers are kind of coming in as well from the side of Kagawa. Kagawa going on with some, yeah, in the front side you can see the first stone throwers coming in. He has plenty, he just needs to like group them, and the queue, look at that queue, just pure on stone thrower with some elephants next. So definitely starting to get some units on his side. I see some praise from the side of Memo, but I think those priests are mainly for healing. I have not seen many conversions from his side. A nice forest coming on the top side. Kagawa doing a very nice job putting a hill on this forest. Definitely gonna get him a nice defense. Not gonna be Memo gonna be able to get through anytime soon. Especially with the pressure being put on the bottom side. Some elephant archers are kind of moving out. I'm probably heading to the paint that Memo put on the right side, so I'm gonna try to clear that up. But the stun throwers coming on this side definitely doing their work right now. Remember, as well, stun throwers are not the strongest. They're very weak siege. However, 60 points of damage are 50 points of damage, and these stun throwers got engineering and they got alchemy. So definitely they got their outbreaks, even though they are just stun throwers. So right now they should be able to just clear out any buildings and even do some damage. 50 points of damage with very little trample damage, but might be better than nothing after all, considering that the damage from the elephants is just from 7, I believe. So from 7 to 57, from 50 to 58 is definitely a difference that you kind of want to consider to speed up the attack process. Some elephants moving in on this side. Look like he's got his weapon set up in a weird position because they're just feeding the towers right now. On this side, I don't see any more raids coming on these tables. It seems that they're gonna be denied plenty of stun throwers. Look at our army of stun. I think he's got more stun throwers than he does of elephant on this side. So definitely a tough army to be cleaned up. And I don't see any more units. Only towers from Memo. He's got some elephant archers on the top side though, but he's getting these shots to these buildings. The stun throwers getting picked off. So the stun throwers 75 HP. So definitely very squishy unit that can easily be killed, especially compared to the 600 hit points from the elephant archer. So these units, the elephant archers, kind of getting stun throwers little by little, but as well, Kagawa getting all the building that he's got from the side of Memo. So Memo, let's see how will Memo pan about this one. More stun throwers, more priests from the side of Memo and elephant archers. It's interesting to see the priests. I think I have not seen them anywhere. Like I see them around, like they're healing, but I have not seen them do much action on this side. Getting some conversion from it by the looks of it. The first stun thrower being converted, the stun thrower is being pulled back from the side of Kagawa. So definitely dangerous situation. You wanna take it, geez, you kind of want to take care of these stun throwers. After all, they are a very expensive unit and they are still a gold unit. So being a weak unit that you have to take care of because of all, you really don't have anything else. Then we can see Memo starting to get some armor elephants on his side. Definitely trying to push that on the top side as well. I don't know if it's going to be enough. But on this side, the stun throwers are just massive. Just look at that monstrous quantity of shots going off from the side. The elephant is just being forced to pull back, but look at all these shots just chasing it around, getting 3 elephants on the shot. Memo just baiting him in though. He's moving in, trying to get some shots on the stun thrower. He's focusing the elephant archer, so he's not getting the damage. Now he's getting the stun throwers. Now you can see the kills. Little by little pushing in. The stun throwers dying very squishily to these elephant archers. The elephant archers doing a very nice job on those pickups. But now Memo has to run back again. The units, the stun throwers coming in big time, no fear at all. This time they're going full on in by the looks of it. Elephant archers are supporting, and look at that shot, very nice shot. 3 elephants going down, 4 elephant going down. So stun throwers dealing an immense amounts of damage, even though with just the 50 points, it's not the best siege, but it's just enough against these elephants. Timeline, it's 166 villagers from Kagawa. I cannot see Memo for some reason, but Memo's in disadvantage. That's the only thing I can tell from the timeline. So right now, Memo, look at the queue on Kagawa. Kagawa going full on, fully pop and getting Celio Tree as well. So definitely gonna get some push forward. And Memo, on the other hand, I don't think he has nothing near like that. I think he's 100 population less against him. So definitely on a tough spot. Kagawa just building to his hard content, getting all the units he can get. These stun throwers, elephant archers, and even villagers. So definitely gonna take some time for Memo to catch on for that. And you can see Memo has started to add some throwers to his mix as well. Kind of being forced to, by the looks of it. The stun throwers doing a very nice job from the enemy right now. But only the little numbers from Memo are far too little in my opinion. The paint on the top side, on the top right side, kind of being cleared out. The town center of the gold being found out. Unfortunate situation. So Memo being reduced from the map. All the top side has been taken away from him. So Memo is not in a good spot. 150 population for him against the pop cap of Kagawa. So Kagawa doing a very nice pressure. This is the main focal point now, as that Kagawa has cleared out everything else. These elephant archers not doing nearly much damage as I would like it to be. Fortunate situation. So right now, I don't know what else I can say. Unfortunately, like Memo on a very disadvantaged point. Out of gold. Well, almost out of gold. He's got villagers, but I don't think he's got the enough economy to fight what Kagawa is putting in front of him. So unfortunately, I think the queue is gonna be like diminishing little by little. You can see nothing close to what Kagawa is producing. So I think it's just gonna be a matter of like when will Memo be defeated rather than if Memo gets defeated. So right now, kind of worried. Well, not worried, but it seems that Memo is gonna be the one losing on this situation. Still not giving it up though. Plenty of armor elephants, elephant archers, and stun throwers. So definitely not much in gold on the bank, but definitely trying to get usage of all that gold. And he's got. On the other hand, we see plenty of towers. Way too many towers coming from Kagawa. So Kagawa, too solid of a base. Oh, getting 75% of the map. These towers of forest all around, getting pretty invincible. Unfortunately. The main attack coming on this side, like stun throwers are still coming now from Memo in bigger numbers. I don't know if that's gonna be like enough. He needs to get like to up his economy big time because he's running out of gold. There's some gold in here, but it's too forward. The villagers are just gonna be killed big time against with all these siege unit and elephant archers. Memo doing a nice job pulling the units in, but look at it's a too little tower. Like you can only get like 4 shots from this tower, not getting that much value in my opinion, compared to the towers that more like Kagawa putting a lot more towers on the front side. So these elephants are moving in with plenty more units, with plenty more towers coming in as well. So right now, Memo losing his terrain little by little. Towers more coming, stones thrower coming all around. Armor elephants coming on the top side. They're probably trying to get some clear up on the top side, but looks like he really cannot call it, and Memo just resigns. Very tough first game, but very nice to see both players pretty strong start. And I like the fact that we get to use the stun throwers. Like it's not a common thing to use, especially in post Iron Age. So it was nice seeing them into play. 162 population from Memo against the pop cap of Kagawa. So definitely the population count was very in favor, and all the population from Kagawa. Look at all this economy looking so clean with all farms on around, and still plenty of gold in his production. This tower did this forest did a very nice job. It held the ground very nicely for the side of Kagawa. Now taking a quick look at the statistics, the timeline, pretty balanced. You can see Memo held his ground a lot of the time, and now we cannot see anything else right now. Sorry. So 345 kills from Kagawa, and that's on a V8, 180 villagers. And I don't know why I cannot see Memo anymore, but never mind. Let's go on to game 2 of the deathmatch. 2022. We are live now with Persian. Awesome stuff. So Persian, being one of those saves with elephants as well, the fastest elephant is nice to see. They're not cheaper though, so definitely gonna have a hard time. But they also got plenty of options. So when it comes to other units, they got cataphracts, they got the horse archers, and they even got legions. However, legions are not a common call in this situation. We usually see the cataphracts or the horse archers, or just straight up elephants, depending on the situation. From the side of Memo on the right side, we see horse archers of the initial move by the looks of it. So probably going to check those little pickups from the raid, from the early raid. So let's see how will that play out. Now the map looking kind of favorable. We can see Memo, it's very open. He has plenty of space to put buildings all around his base, and they're focusing kind of on the left side. So he probably knows that Kagawa is on the left side as well. On the other hand, Kagawa not in as good a situation. You can see he's starting to spread out a bit more on the top and getting some stables though. And he's going, we can see the mix. Memo is going heavy horse archers and armor elephants. On the other hand, we see Kagawa full on cataphracts. which is very powerful unit. They can easily deal out with the horse archers, especially because these horse archers do not have ballistics. However, these are a very expensive unit. We can see some towers coming from the side of Memo, trying to get some defense. He's putting them on a little hill, so it's gonna give him a little nice advantage when it comes to defending. But the villagers are being picked off big time. We can see the 4 villagers being killed off just by the cataphracts alone. More towers being put on the back though, and the horse archers trying to get some damage on this, but the cataphracts look like they're just swarming in from all sides actually, because you can see the cataphracts are coming all around. They're already on the houses on the right side, and in the middle the elephant chasing them around but not getting. Well, it's gonna take some time because of the speed, fortunately, and right now it looks like there are some armor elephants coming on the top side. Memo kind of holding his ground, but looks like cataphracts. Well, the cataphracts are kind of diminishing, but they did a nice initial like aggression. Are able to do some nice damage from the side. Some idle cataphracts on the right side, definitely waiting himself for his turn. More towers coming from the side of Memo, and armor elephants are finally coming. But Kagawa is already expecting him with armor elephant of his own, so very nice play from Kagawa right there. Kagawa, Memo. Well, both players kind of out of food right now, but we can see Memo is still pushing forward with the horse archers. Finally, getting a very nice fight on the hill, luring all these armor elephants in here. You can see little by little this nice fight that's gonna try to get to equalize the scale in favor of Memo. Memo picking up, getting a nice engagement in there, but still with plenty of units on his base, so definitely not lost the fight just yet. We can see fighting here kind of a defensive situation. Like it looks like Memo doesn't have that many units, and there are plenty of armor elephants. There is some siege coming, but it's very forward in my opinion. So it might be picked off too early if the units are like, if the armor elephant from Kagawa are able to push through. Doesn't seem to be the case just yet, but it seems that the first pump is at least it's gonna be a bit safe, which is crucial. It's gonna help you out getting a lot of units. It's gonna get some nice damage to scale the fight, and you can see right off the bat the armor elephant doing some very nice shots, getting some very nice damage. Remember, I don't know, 50 points of damage I believe, or 60. So 60 points plus 1 of alchemy, so 61 of damage. Definitely a game changer when it comes to the armor elephant. And now this game is looking very favorable. This fight in favor of Memo. Plenty of armor elephants against nothing from Kagawa. Kagawa is still producing, but I don't see that much Q from Kagawa. Right now he's going full on villagers. Doesn't seem to have that much food that it can require for when it comes for the defense. And you can see Memo plenty of armor elephants actually. So Memo just gonna be able to sweep in, and these are very fast elephants. You can see they are not carrying at all against the ballista towers, the guard towers I mean. These are guard towers from Kagawa, and Persian towers are not that good. They only have alchemy there. So this puny 7 damage is not gonna do anything against the 600 hit points from the armor elephant. So the armor elephant not giving a damn about all this and just pushing in. Very nice kill coming. Very nice kill on the villagers. Definitely a nice hit on the economy of Kagawa. Kagawa on a tough spot. His economy is being raided, and Memo taking his time to build up the economy right up, getting more villagers and getting some armor elephants. You can do better production, and Kagawa just calls it. Kagawa having too much pressure on his base. The map not very on his favor, to be honest. Like a very not easy to protect himself and not very easy to paint. You can see the amount of stables on his base and towers is very little, but that's because there's not much space for him to build around, unfortunately. So it was a very disfavorable map for me, and even Memo calls it out. So the statistics, thinking a little quick, 184 against 75. So Kagawa, you can see the kill count very favorable Memo. The economy, 133 villagers against 89. So Kagawa was the first one trying to get more economy going up. That's probably because of the cataphracts that were a very expensive unit. But nonetheless, Memo kept to his guns and defended, then started to push back once his economy ran out. And the timeline shows just that the timeline very nice game from the side of Memo and Kagawa. So now Memo gets his first point, putting this situation into a one-on-one. And yeah, I think I got nothing else to comment for this part of the game at least. Let's quickly jump to the third one. And without further ado, we are live. Game number 3, this is Memo versus Kagawa. Starting off with Mirror Shang now. On the left side, we got Kagawa. And on the right side, we got Memo. Right off the bat, I can tell that the map looks that's kind of cramped situation that we got from Memo in this side. Like you can see the in here in Kagawa, he's got plenty more space so that he can work around. Memo, not so much. Like he's got some ranges by the looks of it. But let's see how will that pan out. Usually the Shang's choices are heavy horse archers and cataphracts, and then afterward go up with siege, full on Helepolis and the freaking heavy catapult. Let's see how that will play out. Right now, looks like Memo is focusing his forces on the heavy horse archer. On the other hand, Kagawa going for the freaking cataphract. So strong combination that we saw previous game. Let's see. Very expensive unit cataphract, but they can easily deal out with the heavy horse archer, especially in low numbers. So for the early game, might be a good option. The first horse archer coming in, trying to get some picks on the units by the looks of it, but just running away. It looks like another paint coming on the left side, so definitely Memo trying to do another one of his schemes, trying to get a nice paint on the left side. Let's see how will that pan out later on. Stables coming from Memo now, so definitely gonna add some whole cataphracts to his mix, and we can see he's already putting them there right on the freaking hill. More stables coming up, and Memo trying to put some towers on the front side, but unfortunately it seems that many cataphracts from Kagawa are already here, so he's being intercepted big time, not being able to get any towers, and that hill is gonna prove to be very important because Kagawa is already putting towers in it. So definitely gonna assert himself his terrain and putting them right in the front of stables of Memo. So these stables are unfortunately gonna be killed off. We can see plenty of villagers trying to come in to get the towers up, but they are all being killed off, and the horse archers and the cataphracts from Memo are trying to stand the ground, but I don't think they are nearly enough for them to clear this out. We can see more buildings coming from the left side of Memo. In the meantime, Kagawa is growing on the left side. Memo doesn't seem to have that much place to grow anymore as well. We can see he's kind of holding his place into the middle. And you can see Kagawa already adding Helepolis to his mix, so definitely a dangerous situation is gonna help him clear out. So cataphracts and Helepolis coming from the side of Kagawa, it's a very dangerous combination. The cataphract is going to be soaking up all the damage, and the Helepolis is going to be doing the cleanup. Definitely something to clear at. And once they get on the hill as well, it's going to be a devastating force to little by little hold themselves out. And on the side of Memo, we can see he's sticking to the horse archers and cataphracts as well, but that's a very expensive combination, and I don't know how long will he be able to withstand that. You can see he's kind of running out of cataphracts. Like the horse archers is the main force, and the blue cataphracts are pushing in to the red horse archers. Right now, Helepolis coming from Kagawa, so definitely Kagawa not having any problems in his economy to build what he wants. On the left side, we see kind of some cataphracts trying to get some kills on the economy, but I don't think that's doing nearly as much as Memo would have liked it to be. It seems they're gonna be gonna have a tough time to get the economy back in his favor. Some side chariots being added on the Memo side, on the stables, on his base, so definitely trying to put something on the front so that the horse archers stop soaking up the damage. You can see the forest in this side kind of struggling, kind of blocking actually Memo, and Kagawa not having any problem with that, just growing to his heart content, getting like 60% of the map, and the paint on the left has been completely denied by Kagawa. So Kagawa already getting farms on his base, definitely on a favorable position. Helepolis is being intercepted by the side chariots, but the side chariots being killed off because there's just so many Helepolis. There's a bit of towers. We could use more towers on that hill as a defense, but right now I think he's doing a very nice job by what he has. Kagawa starting off to add side chariots on his side as well. We can see plenty of side chariots are here. So putting something on the front, and Memo having a tough time getting some chariot archers on his mix. Definitely having a gold problem in his side, trying to add some archers to keep just growing those numbers, making usage of the wood and the food that he still got. Another town center being intercepted on the top side, so definitely not getting the gold income that he would like it to be. And you can see right now only 2 people on gold, 50 gold on his bank, and that's might be the last pump of his cataphracts. He has some golds on the other hand and in the middle, but these are not gold from Memo. Look at the population. Memo, Memo just calls it right now. Kagawa, very strong player, doing a very nice push. Very disfavorable map on the side of Memo as well. Like you can see, the map was not in his favor. He had all this area limited, and so he had nowhere to go. He was completely blocked up by himself with the buildings, so he did not grow to 12 that he would have wanted to be. And you can see all this place was untouched by mostly. Kagawa really focusing on the fight in the middle, putting plenty of towers and Helepolis and Cataphracts. It was just a matter of time, really. And with Memo, without any golds, would only be able to put side chariots and chariot archers. So definitely a tough situation from the side of Memo. And that's gonna give Kagawa his second point of the game of this game number 3. Now let's take a look at the statistics in the military. We can see 248 against 135. It's definitely Kagawa getting the upper hand on the kill count. Then the Cataphracts being a very strong unit. Villagers as well, 129 against 98, and the timeline. I mean, you can see it's a scale in favor of Kagawa. So tough stuff. But let's see how he will perform in game number 4. This is game number 4 as chosen. Interesting to see. So on the right side we got Memo starting off with it's something interesting to see that he usually go for the second town center and then get for a barracks. On the other hand, Kagawa, a more standard stuff, just getting the town centers first and then getting his buildings up. So Memo going for a more aggressive play. The first legion already being queued. Meanwhile, Kagawa not even a barrack up just yet. So there's more barracks coming home this side, definitely getting a nice initial push on the military side. The first legion already out, and he's hitting out to the enemy village, and you can see Kagawa putting plenty of barracks on his side just yet. So he's definitely producing just yet, but this little move is gonna get him a good indication of how far he is. Getting some nice hits on the villagers, definitely denying some those initial barracks that are on the forward. You can see the villagers the legions are being pulled out from the side of Memo. So Memo starting to gather up his army into the middle. This is gonna be, they have decided where the point of the fight is gonna be, and they have decided it's in this middle point. So the barracks being put the closest as possible, with more villagers coming on, more legions coming from Memo. Memo putting up a lot of terrain, starting to put his first tower, so definitely knows he's the important part of the land where he's gonna fight off against Kagawa. Kagawa getting his numbers of legions up for sure, but right now it seems very favorable situation for Memo due to the towers being placed very close to him, and the barracks are just keep coming from all sides. More towers coming in, so this is definitely gonna be a forest here sooner or later. There are more barracks being painted on the sides, so on the bottom from Kagawa though, so definitely not giving it up just yet. Plenty of units coming from the side. The red legions, you can see dominating most of the area. Both players kind of having a house situation. Kagawa starting to add some Helepolis to his mix as well, so he's got some siege warrior around yet. Let's see where are they gonna find them out in a moment. And right now we can see the fight is extending big time in the middle. More towers coming from this side, definitely supporting the legions from Memo against the Kagawa. So the blue legions are kind of fading away on the top side, but on the bottom side we can see there's still plenty of units. Kagawa putting plenty of towers as well on his side. This forest is being solidified with plenty more ballista towers. So definitely nice wall barracks coming on the top side, definitely keeping the battle on the middle, focusing so that the Memo just attacks on one point and wipes everything. That looks like the legions. Look at this. This is an insane amount of legion, and some Helepolis are being added to the mix as well from Memo as well. So Memo already with an advantageous position is gonna get even more advantageous with all these Helepolis on his side. Getting even lucky on this game at this point. Plenty of shots and plenty of legions getting this unit. However, Kagawa on the back, not giving it up just yet. He's got plenty of Helepolis from his zone on the back, but they're a bit too on the back, but he still got plenty of units to defend himself with. The only problem is that they're a bit too far, but it's the best spot, the best spot that they can get because of the barracks that are just built around. They're a bit too cramped of the area. On the other hand, we see all the map that has been surrounded by Memo, just Memo getting his maps to his hard content. Almost like 70% of the map is just position of Memo. We can see the barracks, that was the wall barrack that were placed out. It's gonna be kind of attacked with some units on the top side, so definitely Kagawa's gonna try to get some advantage on that side. He put some forwards in that side, so let's see if that comes out later on. Plenty of legions still fighting in the middle. The battle just not being decided just yet. They're starting this little stalemate fighting in the middle. With so many units trying to get the buildings up, and with plenty of lag. More legions on the bottom though, so you can see Kagawa kind of spread out the battle in the main focus, not trying to win that fight in the middle, but definitely trying to get something up on the other sides. And right now, jeez, it's looking very laggy. Right now, this is not looking in anyone's favor. It was looking in Memo's favor at one point, but right now, it seems that it's tough to be in that case. It seems the legions are kind of fading away in the middle, but he still got a nice amount of ballista. All players got a nice amount of Helepolis actually, so you're only gonna have anytime soon. You can see the players are kind of regrouping. Kagawa and Memo regrouping his legions, kind of getting a little push. Memo pushing on the bottom side, definitely denying some nice towers on the side of Kagawa. Kagawa still trying to get some siege, but the siege in here unfortunately will not do much by itself because of all the units. And you can see the towers on the top side destroying the barracks from Memo, so that's kind of dangerous because it can lead to an opening that can be very dangerous later on. Right now, Kagawa kind of tries to push on the forest, but this forest is way too thick, so the towers are gonna have a lot of shots. A lot of free shots against the legions and the Helepolis. Remember, chosen towers get +2 range, so definitely gonna be able to do a lot more damage than a normal tower would do. And these Helepolis are in the range of the enemy, so unfortunately, if they try to get an attack, it's gonna be able to counter quite easily. And we can see this is the part where we start to see the gold battles. You can see Memo has a very big economy on his side with getting the golds on the front, which is kind of ideal thing that you want to do. You're gonna get the golds that are close to the enemy so that the enemy doesn't actually get them. And right now, Memo's doing just that. On the meantime, we see more ballista coming from the side. Both players starting to queue up. This got quite of economy, 146 population from Memo. So definitely plenty of units still going around. Kagawa in a moment we can see probably balanced in the same way. The towers doing an incredible job cleaning up those Helepolis from the enemy. Red Legion putting up some towers, a forest of towers being put on the right side. So Kagawa definitely trying to keep his terrain safe on the right side as well without him having to look out so hard. And now we can see another fight trying to come in the fight in the middle with some legions from the side of Kagawa. Kagawa trying to push in with some Helepolis as well, but nothing. It's gonna be a hard time for him to do, honestly. Because without siege, this forest of towers is gonna clean up everything very nicely. And on the other hand, we see also plenty of ballistas on the right side, on the side of Memo. Memo holding his ground quite nicely. He's kind of probably just focusing on the economy. 170 population against 167, so both players kind of balance on the population counts when it comes to the offense. So I think both players are just gonna try to grow a little bit and then try to push forward afterwards. Right now, Kagawa trying to put some towers in the same place where the Tower of Forest of Memo is being placed out. So definitely not gonna give up that area for free. More towers coming on his side. More, but Memo, there's already a big mass on the right side, and in the middle, there's still plenty. He's playing it on a passive right now, so he's probably playing with more economy. And the queue for Kagawa is kind of, you can see he's having some troubles. He's running out of wood and gold, so the queue's economy is gonna have some trouble when it comes to the siege. Let's see if how Memo will get played out in the battle. It's like Memo is not having any trouble with that at all. On the other hand, we can see it's just pushing in, and Memo and Kagawa just 2 people on gold. So definitely a struggle of the gold. He's feeling it right now. Not gonna be able to get much income, even with the cheap units like the Legions. Like, that's a very low number of income for the gold. On the other hand, we can see Memo just over 2k of gold, not having any problem. Kagawa starting off to make a lot of villagers. He definitely needs those villagers to start getting his economy up and going, because definitely he's not getting the resources to keep on fighting on this side, especially on the defense. He needs to get more economy so that he can start to push on the offense side and get his terrain back. Right now, Memo doing a very good job on keeping his enemy on the back. Some X-Men didn't click on the accident, so, or probably on purpose, who knows at this point, due to the lack of gold that Kagawa is having. But Memo, you can see Memo not having any trouble, just legions and coming to his heart content. He's still got plenty of wood for Helepolis, but he's not using it, or at least it's not appearing on the queue. So this fight, along with the Tower of Forest, is just being free food for Memo at this point. Not getting that much value in his from the units of Kagawa. So Kagawa is still throwing away plenty of units. 264 population, 173 population from Memo against Kagawa. That is kind of holding him back. More villagers coming on the front side. I think this is a misclick. I think this is a misclick, because plenty of villagers are just moving around. They're being intercepted. The towers of Forest, the towers on the level is just getting some free shots on these villagers. I don't know where they're going. Some level is coming on the right side, trying to get some nice kills on the forest, on that like kind of small forest. But those villagers kind of misclick to somewhere else, getting killed off horribly. On this side, we can see the power coming, and this is where the fight was happening. So Memo puts up some towers in defense, but Kagawa was trying to get some gold on this side. Definitely feeling the pressure of the gold. But Memo has some towers, so that's definitely not gonna be a problem for him. Right now, the terrain looking once again Memo in dominating position. Plenty of towers coming, and gold units and villagers trying to mine up the stone in the front side. So definitely trying to get some stones for his defense. Then trying to pulling them back to get some stones up, some towers up. The level is coming in though, and both players out of resources. No, we don't. Memo has plenty of golds on his side though. Not gonna have any trouble anytime soon. And Kagawa trying to put some towers to hold his terrain anymore, but there's a lot of legions. That's a lot of legions, and still with some support of the Elepolis already from the enemy, against the enemy. So definitely cleaning up very nicely, and Kagawa just calls it. Very nice game, very nice hold from Kagawa as well. The legions, chosen legions are a very dangerous unit. But the gold, you can see the gold was the issue in this situation. Kagawa not getting gold anywhere. So for now, that's kind of the defining factor. Once again, the economy played better by Memo, coming with a lot more kills. 1.1 against almost 1k of Kagawa. Villagers big favor of Kagawa, so he made up a lot more units than Memo, and probably because feeling the pressure of the eco management. But the timeline was pretty balanced from both players. It's interesting to see. So for now, that's gonna give Memo his second point, putting this into a 2-on-2. Let's see who is gonna be the winner of the next game, shall we? Now on to game 5. This time this footage is from our friend NinjaJen because I crashed on this game unfortunately. So we are live with the deathmatch of game number 5. This is Memo versus Kagawa. On the bottom side we got Kagawa and on the left side we got Memo. This is high tide mirror. So for now, interesting to see. High tides, we know the power of the high tides comes on the high tide archers, the catapults, and even the armor elephant. Let's see how will they play out in this situation. We can see the first range already coming up from the side of Memo. Memo getting his first horses out. This is something we've seen. He tries to get a building first with some damage. Let's see how this plays out. Kagawa having a kind of a safe spot. He can build in there, and he has a heal though. It might be very dangerous for him to push on. If he doesn't push out, the first horse archers already coming in from the side of Memo. Memo focusing big time, getting plenty of paints on the bottom side of archery rangers. More rangers coming from the side of Kagawa as well. The first horse archer already reaching the point, and Kagawa pulling back his unit a little bit, getting 4 villagers down, just that one single horse archer. You can see the value of the horse archer, the damage being too devastating. Some horse archers coming in the defense though, and finally the horse archers being placed, being down. Finally, next we can see more horse archers coming from the side of Memo, getting his army set up actually. So in this side we can see Kagawa as well getting his numbers in the side, having a heal in the attack though, so definitely gonna help him out against the horse archers from his enemy. Some units coming on the top side trying to get some damage, getting the villagers picking them off. Towers coming in the response though, so definitely gonna get himself some terrain, protecting them from the protecting these ranges from those units of the enemy. And we can see more towers coming on the top side, so Memo building up on the top side some siege worship and towers as well, so definitely trying to push up very big time. On the left side as well, a nice forest coming on the to protect that little corner. However, the horse archers, it's a lot of horse archers, and they're gonna intercept these villagers quite a lot. Very dangerous because getting so many villagers picked on, it's bad for your economy later on. You can see the villagers not gonna be able to build later on, and if you need economy, you're not gonna have anything later. On this side we can see the battle kind of like stalemate. Well, Kagawa has plenty of more units, but they're in his base, and the placement from Memo, it's very weird. Like, he's very trapped on his side. He has some ranges and some tower. Like, he's trying to get more terrain on the top side because the bottom side is very cramped. You can see having his rangers, his units running all around in a very weird position, going through the forest. Very nice shots coming from the catapults though. Nice micro coming from Kagawa, well, not letting those deaths coming up for free. More coming fighting into the middle. More horse archers and stone throwers being tossed out. However, the numbers look like to be in favor of Kagawa, but the stone thrower, the catapults, heavy catapults trying to get some shots. You can see Kagawa has transitioned into elephant archers, so definitely a good call against especially the extra chunky catapult archers. I mean the catapult archers, heavy catapults, more heavy horse archers coming from Memo as a red, getting that heal on the top side, so definitely getting nice terrain for himself, getting out of that horrible hole that he had on the bottom for sure. The siege coming from Memo as well, it's accumulating big time. You can see he's getting his numbers little by little. Kagawa not falling behind though, getting his siege up, but the heal he still favors Memo for this time being. Let's see how will that play out. This battle in the middle, these horse archers are pathfinding through the units of Kagawa, getting shot for free unfortunately. So right now the units kind of have fade out from the side of Memo. Memo having almost pure villagers of production and heavy catapults. You can see economy is starting to feel the burden on his side. On the other hand, Kagawa doesn't seem to have any problem from that. He's just going full on heavy catapults. Not more food in his bag, but definitely the map size. The map looks in favor of Memo, but you can see little by little Kagawa is spreading out and he still has horse archers to move around, so the catapults are gonna be cleaning up little by little these towers, this forest of towers, and the horse archers are gonna try to pick up any remaining eco unit, and they're trying to get the advantage for Memo. Unfortunately, this massive catapult seems too big even for Memo to deal with. Nothing can compensate, no matter how much the micro he's getting is nice micro, but it's not nearly enough from what he can do. Then Memo just calls it because in this situation I think the map disfavored him, was not in his favor quite nicely. You can see he was having a lot of trap situation on the bottom side. And that kind of paid off later on. The puck kills 181 against 148 in favor of Kagawa. The population as well. Villagers coming to the side of Kagawa in favor 96-74. Timeline I think say is pretty balanced, but it was little by little it was shifting towards Kagawa in that situation. Very nice fifth game.
Yes.
Alright, and after that we are back to the normal schedule. This is game number 6. We are Kagawa versus Memo. Kagawa 1 point in his favor though. Alright, we're with Persian again. And it's interesting to see because this is kind of a similar scenario. We saw Memo on the bottom side and Kagawa on the right side. And Memo kind of starting off in the same way as we saw. He's starting off with some horse archers and Kagawa with cataphracts. Let's see if the plan is the same. We saw previously full on cataphracts against horse archers and armor elephants, and Memo was able to pull through because he was able to defend himself and then push forward. The expense of the cataphracts turned to be too much for Kagawa. Let's see if something changed in this scenario. Looks like both players are gonna be doing the same exact strat. Both players. The first horse archers coming from Memo, putting into a defensive position, putting into a hill, trying to see where the units are coming from, and you can see the first horse archers already coming in the stables, and Memo putting up his stables in the front for sure, getting plenty of buildings on his side. So, and the horse archers are already trying to intercept these units. Plenty of cataphracts coming from the side of Kagawa. Memo getting some painting on the top side of the Kagawa's base again. So these little paints paid off a lot, but the cataphracts are looking big numbers from this side. I don't see many units from Memo. They are definitely coming though. The cataphracts and the horse archers are already here, but let's see how much time will he have left before the army comes to his face. If they swipe in again, maybe this time they're gonna be far more effective. Armor elephants are already being thrown from the side of Kagawa, so probably trying to get a bag of both cataphracts and horse archers to tank those horse archers, and towers coming from the side of Memo as well. Cataphracts, the stables are coming on the top side. And you can see Memo completely swarmed by his base again. The armored elephants are here though, but definitely gonna have a hard time getting all these units out. What you can see, he's kinda holding his ground one more time. Plenty of towers coming on the top side of Memo, definitely getting some buildings, so already getting gold, so he's probably feeling the burden. Remember, Persians are a gold city, only unit, but civilization, so it's definitely feeling with expensive unit as horse archers, cataphracts, and armor elephants. Definitely gonna put some strain on his economy. He's got some cataphracts on his base, so on the top side that they have not moved yet, so he's probably accumulating those numbers on the middle. And finally, we can see Kagawa starting to move up to the armor elephant as well, which is kind of the same exact scenario that we saw in the previous game. Memo having to clear up his base first. Let's see if he's gonna take a lot more time. He's doing a fine job. He's still got plenty of horse archers. He's got armor elephant and cataphract. The armor elephants are coming in as well, though. So definitely have an intense fight coming in Memo's base. Memo is not taking any sweat, though, spreading out to the top of his town. The map not getting any chance to be trapped in his place. And you can see the fight is kind of going like in balanced way. There are plenty of heavy horse archers, but I don't think there's nothing put up in the front, so these horse archers are gonna have a hard time killing all the units. Memo pulling back this unit though now finally, and we can see the horse archers doing a fine job. The building the armored elephants not doing as much actually in this situation. So the horse archers doing very nicely against this armor elephant. Memo queuing up some armor elephants on and cataphracts on his base, and you can see on the right side, look at all the armor, plenty of cataphracts coming from the side of Memo. Memo getting some nice raid on the economy for sure, and we can see the units are kind of being focused. I think that's why this attack is kind of fading away, because the defense is Kagawa focusing big time on his defense, and right now looks like Memo is gonna start to push through one more time. He's gonna be able to get out of his trap forest that he's got and then move to his place. And you can see plenty of cataphracts and armor elephants coming from the side of Kagawa. So Kagawa definitely with some army left on his place. They're gonna be able to push up. You can see Memo starting to get some economy going on his base, getting some farms on the side, going full on villages right now because that's the best option that he's got. And they're getting some economy up, and the armor elephants are pushing in one more time. Same exact scenario. So the elephants armor not caring at all about all the towers or the buildings that are coming. So they're gonna start to push through. The cataphracts from blue being clearing out the paint of red on the top side. These horse archers cleaning out these towers little by little. You can see. Oh, this is a very dangerous scenario. It looks like Kagawa is losing his terrain one more time. Persian, a very expensive civilization. We can see Kagawa is out of food, less than 100 pop left, just producing 3 elephants and 1 villager, not getting a lot, and the horse archers are just killing off these farmers from the hill. Definitely a tough spot. Kagawa trying to get some tower stuff in his defense, but not nearly a good play, not nearly a good defense, especially against all the farms that have been pushed away. So definitely on this side, he's feeling the pressure from the right side. It's a Memo Kagawa just calls it because unfortunately it was set up. Look at the map difference. You can see Kagawa is being concealed in his place, and one more time the same scenario. Persians. Memo looks to be more experienced than the Persians. 228 against 143 kills for Memo, taking the favor big time in this situation. And you can see on the other side as well, the economy 99 to 76. So Memo is definitely showing more of his experience on the deathmatch fight, the timeline. You can see timeline based, half of the time it's balanced, and then it starts to shift to Memo. Better economy management, even in deathmatch, proves to be very important. So that gives the Memo the 3rd point, and we are final to the match point in game number 7. And we are live, finally. Match point for both players, Memo versus Kagawa on this is Babylonian Mirror. Definitely interesting to see. We usually see towers, legions, and heavy catapult. Let's see how this one played out for the Babylonian. We see Kagawa doing on the left side kind of a starting start with the 4 town center. This is the more usual thing that he has done so far. On the top side, we see Memo doing already some ranges on his side. He's probably gonna go. So he's gonna go horse archers, which it's not something, I don't know if something that I like that much. The horse archers are not that very strong from the side of Babylonia. They do have the all armor upgrade, but they don't. The lack of the heavy horse, it looks to be very it's very big, especially against massive legions that look like Kagawa is gonna do. So Kagawa is gonna play it safe, put barracks on his base and just go legions like crazy. Looks like that's gonna be a play for his side. Right now, Kagawa starting to push up on the top side. Memo moving his units on the bottom side, but looks like it's not gonna be nearly enough. Barracks already being placed on the side of the Memo as well, so Memo probably, I don't know if it was a switch up or he already had planned it, but he's definitely being intercepted. The barracks are too forward and the legions are already here. Some towers trying to be put in defense, but these more barracks are coming up, and there's way just too many barracks from the side of Kagawa. So Kagawa is gonna have a lot more numbers against the horse archers and the legions from Memo. Memo's gonna need plenty more towers. You can see he's painting on the right side though. Definitely not giving up on that side. For now, the legions are swarming in from the side of Kagawa. Kagawa doing a very nice job pressuring this point in the middle between the two players. Horse archers are here doing up some damage, but And like I said, I don't think they will do nearly enough, even with the first armor upgrade that Legions just get on the Babylonian, so they just get 1+1 pierce armor. So they're still weak to the archers, but still there's too many of them, and you can see Kagawa put plenty of towers on that little hill. So definitely gonna hold that position quite a lot actually. It's gonna be a hard time for Memo to go past through that position without siege at least. And for now, I don't think he's in a position to do siege. He's doing horse archers, a very expensive unit, and not getting as much value in my opinion. On the other hand, Kagawa is just swarming legions on all sides. We can see more legions coming to the middle paint, definitely being intercepted. And Memo like has units, but he has them all spread out all around. The units are kind of backing out, and Kagawa is chasing them away. It's very disfavorable situation for Memo. Memo holding his ground on this side though, so definitely the pouring horse archers are doing some work, but the towers put up in the middle are just too many. Look at them, man. And the barracks coming all the side. That forest in the hill is just doing a lot of value, and it just keeps growing from the side of Kagawa. Plenty of towers coming, and so they're little by little gonna clean up, and Memo is not gonna be able to push through that side anytime soon. We can see some siege workshops coming on the top side, but not a bit too little, a bit too little too late in my opinion. I don't know if they're gonna be able to get much out. Chariot archers added to the mix. Memo definitely coming, sticking to his gut to put archers on the banks. And but once these units are coming out, we can see Memo's pushing out actually. So for now, he feels he's got enough probably, but there are too many towers on all these sides. You can see in the middle, definitely cannot push that side alone by itself without the catapults. But once Kagawa gets his own catapults, this is gonna be wiped out very horribly. You can see the units from Memo being kinda intercepted on this side. Legions are coming, but trying to get into the economy, but not doing really any value by the looks of it. Doesn't seem to be getting any value from his side, and this middle fight with the Tower of Forest just being highly favorable to Kagawa. You can see some units coming from Memo, some legions, but I don't think they will get any value in that base at least. All legions coming from the side, trying to push into the main forest, but I don't think that's a good idea. That's trying to a bit too cramped, and they're getting a lot of shots unfortunately. The legions are kind of coming, but there are already blue legions expecting them, so not gonna be able to do much. The first legion batch trying to get this forest down a little bit. Some catapults coming on the way. That catapult going a little too forward, so getting a bit free shot, and that catapult goes down. Not something that you really want to see, especially now that Memo is on a limited position. He cannot be wasting his resources right now. I can see Memo struggling out with the gold and the food as well. Kagawa just switching off to the heavy catapults, doesn't have any problems at all. And we can see the first catapults coming on the left side already, so Kagawa doing quite nicely on his side to get this terrain pushed back down, and the same way Memo was doing with the siege. But the legions are also coming, so Kagawa definitely putting a lot more pressure than what Memo is doing right now. Memo just trying to put in some siege on the top side, not getting much units down on that side at least. And it looks like more and more legions are coming. We're not be able to swarm with any problems. I don't see any more horse archers from the side of Memo, nor chariot archers, nor anything really. And on the other hand, we see Kagawa not having any problem. Plenty of farms on his side, plenty of economy, and he's just going full on catapults. Catapults and legions, so definitely a nice mix that is probably making him win right now. Memo not giving up just yet. You can see he kinda has walled half the map though, and he's probably trying to push go on the back while holding this part little by little. Still, there's plenty of legions starting to come up from Memo on this side. There are way more legions and more towers coming up from the side of Kagawa though, so Kagawa doing pressure, nice pressure from his side, little by little, getting the hit units and getting the terrain that he can get from Memo. And I think it's a very nice goal. More legions coming right now. The map looking very favorable for the side of Kagawa. The heavy catapults coming little by little, cleaning up. Remember, these are Babylonian towers, so they're extra tanky, but against full armor siege, not gonna be able to do anything right now. So for now, very calm position, I would say, for the side of Kagawa. Kagawa just has to push little by little. Doesn't seem Memo has any units to push it. You can see the Q, very Q, just 2 catapults coming against all the catapults and legions that Kagawa produces. So definitely feeling it in a tough spot for the side of Memo at least. Not giving it up just yet. But you can see little by little, this army, our legions are just walking through the place of the enemy. You can see some more catapults coming, but they're gonna get killed off by that single legion. They're in the range of the tower as well, so the heavy catapults from Memo gonna be killing off. Gonna kill off this tower little by little. However, the towers from Kagawa, the catapults from Kagawa are just much bigger, so Memo putting some more towers in prevention. This nice micro coming from these 2 towers. These 2 catapults getting a lot of value actually from these 2 units, from that 2 units. So it was kind of a nice trade. You can see 2 heavy catapults against 6 from Kagawa. So definitely a nice trade. Micro coming from that part of Memo. On this side, we can see on the middle, more legions are trying to come in. Catapults are intercepting them though, but little by little they are pushing closer, and Memo is in a position to lose more units on the right side. We can see he's getting more and more pushed through. The legions pushing from all sides, and Memo not having nearly enough units to defend from all sides. Really, fortunately, the legions are coming here big time, and oh no, there's nothing to stop them anymore. The towers are almost fading away. 1, 2, 3, only 5 towers coming on the side of Memo. The walls on the right side coming down. More towers coming from Kagawa to assert that part. As more the legions are swarming into the economy of Memo. To the legions, blue legions are gonna start to get the villager kills. Right now we can see a town center being placed in the gold, so definitely Kagawa trying to get the gold from take the gold away from Memo actually. And we can see more units coming on the right side. Memo just calls it GG's, well played, and good luck next round. Very well played from both players. 7 games, all very well played. Unfortunately, 2 more. This one was a loss for Memo, yes, but very well played from both sides. I hope you all had enjoyed this game as well. That means Kagawa is gonna be passing to the next round, and Memo's gonna be out on this situation. Taking a look at the statistic, we can see in the economy, right off the bat, in military, the kills favoring Kagawa, well, by a bit. Less than 100 in the favor. The racing's favoring him big time, definitely getting the value of those towers destruction. 158 against 109. The gold count pretty balanced. So both players still had some gold on their sides. And the timeline was definitely not in favor of Memo. It was shifting towards Kagawa big time. So for now, I think that's gonna be it, everyone. Hope you all had enjoyed today's games, and we will catch you on the next one.